Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you all are doing good, and it is time for us to talk about my July and August reads. And to be honest, I read very less these 2 months because I remember in my June wrap up, I read like 7 to 8 books, and it was just 1 month. And in these 2 months, I just read like 6 books. But you know what? That doesn't matter. The number of books you read doesn't matter. You can read one book in a year and still enjoy that and still talk about it. Let's just talk about the books I read in July and August. So this is the first book I read, The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. Now it's a thriller. It's about Cassie. She has come to her family lake house. Her husband passed recently, so she's like grieving. So she is just like bored and she's drinking. She's alcoholic. One day she was just like resting, sitting near the lake, and then she noticed her new neighbors, which was this married couple, and she starts spying on them, like literally with binoculars. She starts spying on their house, and this is like the house, so it's like made of glass, so you can see what's happening. Like every room is visible from across the lake, so it's about that couple. And it was so unexpected because I love thrillers. Like, I love thrillers. I love reading them. I love guessing the plot twist. I love being flabbergasted and I love being shocked. And I expected, because see, the premise is like, oh, it's house across the lake. There would be some murder, mystery, and that all, but it was so different from all these thrillers that I have read, and I enjoyed it so much. And I gave this book a 5 stars because the ending was just not like a typical ending. And I get it when people hate this book for the ending, because that is not something everyone would enjoy, because I just can't spoil it for you, but you just have to, I don't know, you just have to go into it with a open mind and just tell yourself that you like it and don't be a picky reader. It's a thriller, it's fictional, so you don't have to just take this book so seriously. And if you just enjoy your time with this, you will love it as much as I did. So yeah, I would recommend you guys this book because this is one of my 5 stars. Moving on, I read Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. This is included in a video, so if you want like my full reaction, detailed reaction, you can go watch that vlog. But I rated this book, I don't know, I rated this book higher when I talked about it for the first time, but I think I am lowering the rating to a 4 stars because this is a romance book, of course. But you know, this is a very sad romance book, and there are a lot of things that happened in this book, but I just loved the way that the characters communicated and the characters like supported each other. And the main guy is just so good. I love it. You know, in this generation, people say that I have to end this relationship because I have these other things going on, and I can't love you because I have this family problems and this problem and that problem. And in this book, these characters are just like so open to each other because they're like, I have this problem, but I love you and I care about you. They just make everything a subplot in their life and their romance the first main plot, because that's how you have to do it. You don't have to take life so seriously. Just love with an open heart. And I think I loved this book for that thing. But I do recommend you guys check the trigger warnings because this is sad, and yeah, very sad, and I cried like a lot of times. Read it at your own risk, but I did give this book a 4 stars, and it's a very good romance book. Next up, I read Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, my first ever Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and I fell in love with her. I just loved the writing, loved the characters, loved how everything was depicted. I am so sad that I didn't annotate this book. I really wanted to, and I am going to read this book this year or the next one because I love it. I love the book. It's about a woman named John. It's a love story between John and Vanessa, and it's about NASA. It's set in 1980s. That is like my favorite time period, 80s, 90s, 70s. I love reading about it, and it's just so good, like how people were back then and how women were treated and how like they had to hide their love, because now that things are like coming out and people are accepting love as it is. But back then it was not even a question to like love in the same gender. So I really loved this book for its purpose, and it was emotional, heartbreaking. The ending, I still think about it. This is one of my 5 stars, one of my favorite books of the year. 5 stars, if you can't guess. So, yes. Next up, I read Fearless by Lauren Roberts. And wow, this book had me crying, laughing, shocked. I don't know what else, but like every emotion that is there inside me, this book just took it all. If you don't know, this is the last book in the Powerless series. It's about Kai and Payton. So Payton is this powerless ordinary in this elite world, and Kai is an enforcer, has to kill ordinary. So it's like an enemies to lovers, and the plot took like a very sharp turn in this book because I was just like, what just happened? Like I had to watch a lot of reels, like the edits, to like actually understand what the hell just happened, because it was too much. It was but it was so good. I rated this book a 4.75. I believe it was very close to a 5 stars, but I didn't like the ending that much because I hate when people die in books, and especially when they are very prominent and they are people's favorite characters. I hate when people die in books. Like I love when enemies die in books because they're meant to die. And after reading Powerful, which is the novella after Powerless, I was so heartbroken. I don't know how I am going to read the next novella, which is Fearful, because both of those novellas are based upon dead people. So you feel for them, but you can't do anything because they're dead. So I don't know what to do with that. But anyways, I really enjoyed this book. I had like a lot of visceral reactions to the ending, and I highly recommend this whole series for you guys. But I just want to say the first book still is my favorite in this series. Highly recommend this series to you guys, by the way. Then I finally started the ACOTAR series. I have a whole reading vlog about this book. It's A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas, and I rated this book a 4 stars, and I just want to say that I love this book. This is a very hyped up fantasy series. It's about Feyre, this human girl who accidentally kills a fey fox, and then she's taken to the fairy world, and then things start happening there. It's about politics, romance, like everything, enemies to lovers. I do think that when you read the first book, you would not get the hype immediately because it takes time for a 5-book series to actually set up the world. So I would highly recommend to give the first book a very easy go. I am in love with this series. I am currently reading it. I'm on the 3rd book, and I just want to say that if you're contemplating on reading this book, just pick it up. Trust me, pick it up. You will love it. Now, these are the only books that I read in August, and the other 4 books I read in like July. So these 2 books took a month for me to finish, but I read it like very slowly because I heard someone talk about that if you're reading ACOTAR for the first time, take it slow, because when people finish it, they just don't know what to do. So I understand you, because when I read the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, I finished those 3 books in like under 2 weeks, and I was like, what to do with my life? I didn't know how to move on. So I would recommend you guys to take things slow with this series because you will just miss this world and these characters. But I am so glad that I took it slow, and I enjoyed my time so much. So I actually made a whole reading vlog for you guys of this book, and I am so sorry for making you wait this long, but I promised that after this video the reading vlog would come very soon, and you would see my review and a lot of other thoughts on this book. And yeah, just stay tuned for that. And then I read The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. I don't have a physical copy because Kindle Unlimited have a lot of Frida McFadden books, so I figured that I would read a lot of Frida McFadden books on my Kindle. So I read this one, and I gave this book a 4 stars. Finished this book in like 2 days, and I enjoyed my time so much. The plot twist got me, but it was not as good as her lot of other work. So I would just say that this was so interesting, so fast paced, and so full of mystery and thrill. but I just didn't like the ending. Like, I love when in thrillers the ending is good, because ending can make or break a thriller. So anyways, 4 star is not at all a bad rating, but I expected it to be a 5 stars. That's my own problem. But yeah, I enjoyed that book so much. These were all the books that I read in the month of July and August, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. And if you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.